Hi everyone, I'm just going to do a quick video showing you some of the work that we've been doing in our display area in the shed. Today we've just had a number of pieces back from a gallery that sadly is, like everywhere, had to close because of the pandemic. So they're back here, and I've just spent a couple of hours trying to hang them on our wall here. When they come back, they're always like receiving old friends back, which is lovely. I'm not quite sure about our final hanging of these pictures. I'm quite sure that Michaela will have some input to where they are, but I've tried loads of different ways of getting them to look like they're coherent. Our friend Roz at Tina Brooke Gallery is always so good at this, about the display and kind of how pieces relate to one another. So I need some lessons from Roz maybe. So yeah, there's a few of these kind of pictures that we have, each one taking a poem and making a display, an artwork out of it. These are the ones that have been selling for 95 quid in various galleries. Yeah, I'm not going to show all of them, but give you an idea of the sort of things that we have at the moment. I love that one. I love the glazes on there, rich dark red. And actually this one, strangely, is the same red, just laid on much more gradually, so that you allow the kind of hit and miss thing to have. And this is one of my favourite pieces, which was done in the kind of early days of lockdown. Thinking about, actually, it must have been later days, it's an autumn piece, thinking about how autumn is part of a cycle of regeneration. So yeah, we have a few other pictures, some fairly abstract, two of them taking some ideas of a theme of light and the creation of light and the coming of light, so that one and this one too. Other ones like this one, which was definitely a lockdown poem, which is a simple trick of colours changing and being kind of shaped and infused with other things, which has this poem in the old way of thinking: change comes only through great love or great suffering, but both are hard, both will break us apart if we let them. Then, like the third part of Trinity, came the great silence. So yeah, we've been selling quite a few bits and pieces on our website, which has been amazing. So thank you so much, folks. A lot of the small bowls seem to be going quite quickly. I think I guess people are looking for small tokens that can bring meaning to friends who they're cut off from. So we have a number of bowls and plates still left, if anyone is looking for something like that. It's just like one of my favourite ones there. It's just these trees and beautiful glazes that just, they happen by accident as much as design. When we like to think there's some knowledge involved, but given that I glazed that one, I was very pleased with the effect, but not ever sure I can fully replicate it. And then we have some of Michaela's, just a couple at the moment in stock, of Michaela's lovely sculptures of these very serene looking women with poems wrapped around her. That one, just like a shroud, like something to ward off the wind, but also looks like the wind. Another one of a woman standing before a murmuration. No, do I mean a murmuration? I do mean a murmuration, don't I? With the poem almost hidden behind her, saying, "All around you is beauty, see it." A few vases, equally taking lines of poetry and just playing with them. Again, the vases have been, we don't have many in stock, partly because Michaela's still recovering from her arm break. and also because a lot of those are still in galleries. Just 3 clocks that we have in stock at the moment, 2 with the love hearts as numerals, 1 with a poem on, all made from local driftwood just collected off the beach and then dried and sawn and waxed to try and hold them together. Will be experimental little craft, also made with driftwood. Then on this wall we have a lot of our poetry plaques, as we call them, which are slabs of clay just decorated with some images and words of poetry. We've sold quite a few of these as well, so there's starting to be gaps appearing on this wall already, which is really lovely. Again, I guess people are just looking for meaning at the moment, aren't we? We're looking for something that allows us to connect and find a way of reaching out to people at a distance. So I suspect that a lot of these have been going to friends and family that we're separated from, which is just such a privilege to pay a small part of that during these times. Each one of these will be tend to be Michaela taking a line out of a poem, often a poem that I don't recognise, even though I wrote them maybe, or I definitely wrote them. They're all lines from poems that I wrote, but when they're out of context they just take on a new life. So sometimes it's just 2 words like that one. Sometimes she'll take a lot more words just to, almost becomes it's not the full poem, but it's a poem in itself. So yeah, I just want to say once again a huge thank you to those of you who were part of this project, who contributed to our crowdfunder, to just during lockdown, during a time when, like most of us kind of struggling small business owners, we didn't know how we would get through, and suddenly a lot of you reached out and supported us putting up this building, which was a huge undertaking for us. It's probably a small thing for people that build things like this all the time, but we don't. So it was quite an amazing privilege to have created this space, which just allows us to kind of be so much more creative and think about how things are displayed and how things are going to look against a different kind of wall that we have in our house. So thank you so much, everyone. You'll be hearing from us, those of you that were part of the crowdfunder. Obviously, there are tokens coming back the way to some of you, and pieces of art coming to some of you. Obviously that has been slowed down somewhat by the fact that poor Michaela is still recovering from a broken arm. Okay, it's not the great day today, but it has been recently. Outside it's very cold. The chickens are all hunkered down because of us trying to kind of protect them from bird flu, and the same time as that's going off at the same time as we're all suffering from other kinds of pandemics. Our growing areas are still waiting for spring to come and allow us to kind of be productive in a different way. So thanks very much, everyone, and I hope you've enjoyed this little kind of display area tour. If you want anything or you have any questions, of course, just get in touch via the website or social media or whatever. And thank you so much.